Let's talk about 8 ways to take your mind off something, usually something bad and you know what-y, and supersize and grow your business. Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here, and I don't know about you, but growing my business, there have been, or businesses, I've been involved in lots of different businesses over my many years here on the planet, and I have found myself losing sleep, having that monkey mind where a thought or something goes around and around and around in your mind, but just kind of stays stuck there. It's kind of like getting a song stuck in your mind, and no matter what you think about and try to do, it just keeps recurring and going and running through your mind. Well, what do we do about those things? How do we get the thoughts that we don't want? We don't mind the good thoughts running through our mind over and over again. It's the not so good ones that we want to get rid of. The things about what we can't do, the things that aren't possible for us, the things that make us feel sorry for ourselves, or asking ourselves questions like, why do I have to work so hard? Why is it always me? Why does this always happen to me? Or the blame game, blaming the competition, blaming something outside of ourselves for our stagnation, or for things that we're thinking about that we might not want to think about. We're working on our mental goals for next year in this year's annual challenge, to get your goals annual challenge. I like to set my goals in December for the following year, so I don't have that gap period of that super stressed out feeling at the beginning of the year because I don't have my goals set for the year yet. I like to have everything framed up and ready to go so I can hit the ground running in each new year. So that's what we're doing as part of the challenge. Well, what are some of these ways that we can stop that monkey mind, that we can get our brain off things we don't want to think about and focus on the things that we do want to think about? And then today, share in the comments below the things that cause you to get stuck, or stuck in a thinking loop or a mind loop that isn't necessarily what you want it to be. Me, comparing myself to others, thinking about the competition, feeling like I'm not good enough, things like that, which are human and we all experience them at some time or other, are the type things that will keep me up at night. Or if something comes down the pipe, regulatory, or a lot of times I've been involved in industries where there's a lot of regulation. So OSHA, USDA, FDA, the IRS, those outside agencies can have a lot of impact on our businesses and our business growth, and give us headaches and keep us up at night. So what do we do about that? What are some of these 8 ways to get your mind off of something that really isn't helping you to get what you want? Number 1, or to get your mind off something you can't stop thinking about, try a puzzle or a brain type game. I like to do different types of puzzles. Now that my vision's gotten worse, it's a bigger challenge, but they have some giant puzzle books these days. But I like to do brain teasers, brain puzzles. I actually like to do, with my magnifying glasses, search puzzles. Why? Because they're actually a really big challenge for me. But that gets my mind off what I might be thinking about that I don't want to think about. I like to meditate. Meditation is the second tip in terms of what you can do to get your mind off something that you don't want to think about. Take a new exercise class. Now, I will admit I don't do that one. I think about doing it, but I seldom, if ever, do it. But that's one. Physically moving our body, going into a different environment. All of these things will help take our mind off something we don't want to think about. Call a friend and talk about something, anything else except the thing you want to get your mind off, right? Talk about anything else. But when we focus our attention on something else, then we're not thinking about the thing we don't want to think about. Remove as many triggers as are humanly possible. If thinking about the competition bothers you, don't have Google searches for your competitors and what they're doing in your industry, because then they're triggering you and reminding you what you don't want to think about. I personally have to get the heck off of Twitter, and as I post things, or I go there to post content, I have to turn it off as soon as I make my post, because there's so many things on there that trigger me, and I don't want to think about those things. Use physical sensation to interrupt your thought patterns. Go for a walk. Take a cold shower. Get outside in nature. Let the sun shine on your face. Do something physically to move that will help you not think about what it is that you don't want to think about. And then finally, my favorite probably is look for solutions, right? If there's something that's bothering you, or that's a problem or a challenge, don't focus on the problem, focus on solutions. And as soon as we focus on solutions, then our mindset shifts and we're going in the direction we want to go, not staying stuck where we don't want to be with respect to thoughts. So, curious what kind of things keep you up at night? mostly nowadays, things that keep me up at night are things that impact the people I love and care about. Or if I've got a client who's having a really big struggle, I will think about how do I help them. Those are things I want to think about, right? Because I want to make the world a better place by helping other people. So those might keep me up at night in a good way. And remember, just like everything else, there's positives and negatives to every idiom that we talk about. There's plus sides and minus sides. There's very few things that happen in our life that are absolutely positively negative and evil. There's always a lesson to be learned in every experience that we have, even though often at the time it doesn't feel like that. It feels like something bad is happening to us. And you know what? Good and bad things happen all the time. It's how we interpret them that determines if they're good or bad. That's it. That's our idiom for today. Threw it together quickly because I picked one that I just had talked about like a month ago as my original thought for an idiom today. And I'm like, wow, this just feels too familiar. And so I had to quick pick another one. All right, that's it. Share in the comments below how you get out of that thinking loop that you don't want to think in so we can learn from one another. Have an awesome day, and I'll, of course, do it tomorrow.